So on this metal shift plate, I drilled the holes on the actual plate to using a 1/64th drill bit, 1/64th. And when you squeeze this plastic thing together and move it around, the holes do line up. And the screws that were in there before fit just perfect with that 1/64th hole. And I put these 4 bolts in just hand tight with an extension. Those no longer line up. The clips for the harness don't line up. Thankfully, I had some other zip ties with the fasteners on them, and then I just got to cut them, and it'll be perfect. They fit perfect. I actually ordered these ties to do the engine harness, but they were too big. I think I'll have to go to the Subaru dealer to find those little zip ties that push into the engine block to hold the harness in various locations. I couldn't find a part number or a kind of those anywhere on the internet. So Subaru dealer, I come say, hey, what are those things? Anyway, so there we go. And then I'm gonna wait to put the boot in after I get the transmission up in there. That way I'm not trying to, match up the shifter lever exactly to the hole. I'll have more wiggle room to put the transmission up in there. Once I fasten it in place, I'll put this over top of it with the little push fasteners. And then there we go. Cool. And I took the whole center console out, unplugged everything. On the cigarette lighter plug, you just pull on this side with some needle nose and it'll pull right straight off. You don't have to undo a tab or anything to pull that off. And got to assemble that center console. You got to take certain parts off of it and then fasten to the STI parts, and I'm going to go over that next. So you pop this off with the pry tool. Boom. There's a screw in here. Magically, it's already out. Let's get that screw out of that hole right there. Pop this off with the pry tool. Obviously, I already did it. Lift that, and it comes right off. You're going to use those 2 parts and like the main piece of the console to assemble the STI parts onto it. And you don't have to worry about this part. There's the top plate and the storage cup holder. The front, it opens this way, and then there you go. This part is obvious. It goes back in here. And let me show you the bottom. So on the WRX, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws. Take those out, and then the guts come out. And it looks like on the STI there's like maybe 8 or 9 screws because it's configured a little differently, but I'll show you that when I get to it. You might need some extra little screws to completely assemble the STI pieces. Oh, and the USB/auxiliary plug and the cigarette lighter. Looks like they'll fit in here. They're just oriented from side to side instead of running parallel from front to back. I don't know what the hole looks like in the WRX underneath the thing, but I'll make sure and tell you about that. And there we go. So that corner is also at an angle, just like that corner there for the USB port. So yeah, that'll fit. And then you push that tab, and there's 4 tabs. You push those in to get that out. The cigarette lighter, I had to push pretty hard on these little tabs here. This one and that one to get it out. You just push those two in. I pushed one at a time and pushed it a little, and then pushed the other one and pushed it a little, and then pulled it out. So perfect. Beautiful. Pushes right in and snaps into place. On the cigarette lighter, there's a tab or a little notch right there that matches up with that cutout there. And then you line those up and push it in. So you remove these off the WRX top plate. Just grab them with the very front part, grab them on the very tip. There they go. Grab them just on the very tip and pull them off the other plate. And then they snap actually into that slot and that slot for the back part. So there are quite a few extra screws in the STI version of the console. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one on each corner of the storage compartment. There's 5 there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 screws. 2 of them hold the SI drive switch in. It's really self-explanatory once you get going on it. And here's my center console that's going to work with the SI drive. This goes right in there. It's nice. It looks factory. And here she is, all together. Boom. One more thing done. One more thing done. It's a nice feeling. And the iWire spider controller has a plug that plugs into this, and the plugs on the transmission. And there's a little like gyroscope thing that goes underneath the console that sticks to the like transmission tunnel. I'll get to that when I get to that part of the installation. And next video will be the transmission up and bolted to the car. And yeah, kids made a gingerbread or Oreo cookie houses anyway. So there we go.